I've experienced two types of evil in this life. Secondary evil, the evil that men do, and primary evil, which is something else entirely. Let's begin.
I read, Derry, that over a decade ago, Ralph Sarchie first approached you with this story. What did you initially think when you first met him and read that 6-page document, I think it was?
Well, he's a fascinating character, a great detective, somebody who's, he's the real deal. And he's revered whenever we walked into his precinct, and he's been retired for about 10 years now. The fact that he experienced all these things was fascinating to me, and I thought it'd be interesting to kind of combine The Exorcist with Serpico, two movies I loved.
As a cop, put the job first.
Scott had taken pieces of Ralph's life and experiences as a cop in the Bronx and, exaggerated a lot. At the end of the day, we're trying to scare you. So we're happy to add a bit of special sauce wherever necessary.
Sign her out, she's off the handwell. She drugged?
She's been sedated.
Ralph Sarchie's a real guy, this hardcore cop in the South Bronx, in the 4-6 precinct, which is the most violent precinct in the country. He started investigating the paranormal and got caught up in these stories.
When you arrested her, did she seem unusually strong?
No. Why?
The reason that would interest you.
He knows how it is to be subject of a bigger force that is making you do bad things for you and for the people around you.
They're a really sweet couple, and they have a little daughter, and as he starts to go after and try to solve these crimes that become more horrendous and more unexplainable, he starts to harden.
Mick Santino. Why'd you go visit him at the zoo? He had a message for you.
I look at Eric's career and movies like Chopper and Black Hawk Down and Munich and Star Trek. These characters are the characters that I like him in.
Eric started as a comedian, he did
Yes.
sitcoms in Australia, and look what he did in Black Hawk Down, and look what he does here for us.
He's perceived as being this, very serious actor,
Yeah.
whereas in Australia, he's a goofball.
This place is creepy after hours.
I didn't get paid to do the film.
Right.
I got paid to work with Joel McHale.
Scott Derrickson lost a bet, and I won, and so he had to put me in the movie. And he said, I just would like you to harass Eric Bana every day for a month and a half in the Bronx, and that worked out great.
And did you enjoy working with Eric? He's a bit of a national treasure for us.
I did not.
You have your on-screen partner is, of course, played by Joel McHale, who I thought was amazing. But you have another partner, really, in the film, don't you? The priest. Tell us about your relationship, with your character's relationship with him.
I was really, really stoked to work with Edgar. He's a great actor, Edgar Ramírez, and his character is fantastic.
It's the second time you've called me father.
Well, I was an altar boy at St. Ignatius. I was raised Catholic.
Past tense.
Yeah, I approve all that.
You argue God? Well,
What do you want?
I had the opportunity to talk to real priests who have been trained as exorcists, but the main focus was for me to explore those inner demons that Father Mendoza had.
One of the scenes that I found really incredible, kind of pretty eerie as well, was the one shot in the Bronx Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
First film to shoot there, I think, in more than 30 years. What
Yeah.
was that experience
I don't know
like?
how we were allowed in there, to be honest. We shot the whole film in the Bronx, and as you say, we got access to the Bronx Zoo, which was so nice. It was so nice and quiet in there after shooting on the streets of the Bronx every night.
And go, Eric.
Jimmy!
Everything you see in the film is a prosthetic. There's no CGI cuts. It's just a lot of work.
I've seen some horrible things, but nothing that can't be explained by human nature.
I always liked verisimilitude, and this had an enormous amount of verisimilitude.
then you haven't seen true evil.
It's not just relentlessly scary. I mean, there's action, and then there's suspense, and there's shock and horror.
Every culture, every religion has practiced exorcism.
I love thrillers and horror movies, but I particularly love them when they're based on a true story.
And you see the videotapes that I've seen and listened to the testimonials that I've listened to and listened to the recordings that I've listened to, it's very, very difficult not to acknowledge that there is some deep, deep mystery behind that phenomenon.
What was the message Santino had for you?
Something's happening to me.
Thank you
Joel.
for the interview. Best yellow dress so far today.
Thank you. I don't even know if that even felt like an interview.
Enough, stop there. This interview's over.
And now we are done.